If you've been sitting in a car for a really long time, then you notice that your shoulders get really tight, your neck starts to bother you, your lower back feels a strain, your legs not only feel tight, but they also feel really, really tired. So today we're sharing a short sequence with you, and my name is Arundhati, and we have Alex and Jamie helping us out. So you start by reaching your right arm out to the side, you open the fingers up, you bend the right elbow and you take your arm behind your back. Now the eventual destination is between your shoulder blades, but if you can't get there right away, that's completely okay. You want to roll your shoulder back, you want to extend the arm out, and you want to keep opening the fingers out so there's space between the fingers, and you stretch your wrist out. Because you've been gripping that steering wheel for a really, really long time, so you want to get that nice open palm as well as that shoulder rolling back. Moving on to the other arm, you reach your left arm up, reaching up towards the sky, then you bend your elbow. And now here, if you can't grip your other hand or the fingers on the other hand, you reach for a yoga strap or something as simple as a kitchen towel will do. You grab the strap comfortably and you keep your left triceps, you roll that tricep forward, you keep your elbow pointing up, so this arm's going straight up while the other arm's coming straight down. And this, keeping your shoulders open, will help to keep your chest nice and open. So for downward facing dog, you want your hands and your feet in line with your shoulders running parallel to each other. Starting at the fingertips, you want to press both hands down, pressing the center of your palms down, and then reaching with your fingertips and pressing the inner and outer edges of your hands as well. So there's equal weight on all sides of your hands. You're pressing down and taking the weight up into your arms, your elbows are nice and straight, and your shoulders are open. And keeping the hands pressing down, you're pushing the weight up towards your hips. So we're trying to stretch the spine and the trunk out, and we have this nice length in your trunk. So once we've positioned our arms, we're going to look at the neck. You want to keep your neck comfortable. You're dropping the head, so your gaze is kind of going through the back of your legs. You're looking beyond your heels. You're still pressing your arms and you're pulling the weight up towards your hips, so you're getting that nice stretch in your trunk as well as creating space in your spine. So once your trunk is nice and long, we move that weight all the way down towards our heels. You're keeping your feet parallel and you're trying to press down with your heels. It's not important immediately for your heels to touch, but the weight, the direction of your movement is downward towards your heels. Again, your heels do not roll in. You don't want your feet to turn in like this. You're keeping your feet absolutely parallel to one another. Thighs moving back away from your face. Knees also moving back, but have your knees facing forward. So for the next pose, Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose, you're joining the soles of your feet together. You're pressing your heels firmly against one another as well as your big and little toe mound. So when you press your feet, you're actually able to bring your knees closer towards the mat and get that nice opening across your inner thigh. And at the same time, you can either have your hands holding the outer edges of your feet and lifting your trunk up, or if you notice you're rounding in your lower back, then you bring your hands behind you. You're on your fingertips so your elbows can bend if needed. You're rolling your shoulders back, and with the help of your arms, you're lifting your trunk and keeping your chest nice and open. So both are good options. What you want to be mindful of is that you don't drop in your lower back, and if you notice that if your knees are really, really high up, then you sit on a folded blanket or two, so that way you protect your lower back. So this pose, Suptapada Angushtasana, supine hand to big toe pose, is excellent to stretch out those tight glutes and hamstrings, and it lengthens the whole back of the leg. So what you want to do is, when you have the strap over your foot, you placed it over the big and little toe mound. You do not place it over the arch because the arch cannot press up. So once you have your strap, you press up into the belt and you're stretching the neck of the toes away from, you're stretching the toes away from your feet. Okay, what that will do is it will wake up all the muscles around your leg, and you want to keep your leg nice and straight. You move the thigh towards the extended leg. You're creating space behind the knee because you've been keeping that knee bent throughout your drive. So you're stretching and bringing in a lot of circulation behind the knee as well. Now looking at the extended leg, make sure the foot doesn't roll out. You want to keep your heel pressing forward, and again the toes extended on that as well as your thigh stays down. So both straight legs, keeping the arms straight so the shoulders get like that little stretch. And then this is your Supta Padangusthasana. So coming to our final pose, Viparita Karni, we are just going to put your legs up. Now there are a couple of options here. You could do the one that we see right here, where your heels are extending up, your feet are slightly flexed, they're comfortable but slightly flexed, legs are together, lower back is well positioned so there's no strain in your lower back. This pose is great to recover from fatigue after that long drive. It will bring back a lot of stagnant blood that have pooled in our legs, and it's going to be a great pose to regain some lost energy. So this is option 1, just keeping the legs up. Option 2 is having a strap to help support the legs and to press up a little bit. Or if you have a wall that's available, you will just go close to a wall and have a wall to support your legs. This pose you should stay for a slightly longer amount of time, because the longer you stay in this pose, the more restful it becomes and it helps you to recover a lot faster.